The Mike and Tony Show is intended for a mature audience. Listener discretion is advised. It's episode 229. We're back in the studio. It's Friday night, dude. You fought through the fog. You're late. After I was telling this guy, I was like, he's never late. I was like, he'll be here in the next 7 minutes because he's never late.
The fog was intense.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Like, yeah, I mean, like, you can see a car in front of you. That's it on the way here.
Damn, bro.
And so I was like, shit, dude, okay, better chill out.
Yeah, you got to be careful. You don't want to be going too fast.
Yeah.
With that shit.
Because there are narcoheads that still don't put their lights on at night, you know.
Before we get to our guest, which I'm super excited about.
Yeah.
How was your week? How are you?
I got a cold $2.
Dude, all of us. This cough, 2 weeks, bro.
The little one had a cold. It's always kids. It's always kids that fucking give it to you, man.
Yeah.
And usually I'm pretty, iron Mike with the sicknesses and stuff like that, just like Myra.
Yeah.
And
yeah, she's sick too, by the way.
Oh, is she? Let's say so.
Got everybody.
It must be a good one then, because Callie had it, and I saw her for a little bit, and she was like right there, and just like, you're just like, God damn it, dude, I got cold now. Like, you're like,
yeah.
And so same thing, like just chest cold. That's all it is.
It's here.
Yeah, but I mean,
but it just
better.
The thing is, it just lingers though. I hope I don't wish that upon you.
Yeah.
But for everybody so far, it's like just week, and then another week, and then a half, and a week after that.
Yep.
Still just.
But on Wednesday, like I had a meeting at like 8:00 in the morning, and I'd like that wake up, you have a sickness kind of a voice.
God,
it was that sexy Anton two sax. It was him. It was the hey, what's up? This is sorry, I'm sick today. I got a little bit of a cold.
Yeah,
and they're like, wow.
Yeah.
You want to cut a record right now?
Yeah, let's go. Okay, I can wait no more. It has been way too long since this person has been in the studio. Longtime friend, family. Come on, we're family at this point. Clearly.
Oh, yes.
You came back, I think, 2019, I think was the last time that you was in person, or was that the... Yeah, and then we did the one when they were in Texas. Yep. Remember him and Dom?
Yep.
But the great Avery Jacobs is here with us today. What's up, brother? How are you?
I am good, man. Yeah. The mantra of living and dreaming and kicking and screaming, full effect, doing my thing. Mike and Tony pop, my bad, because Mike and Tiny.
You know what's hilarious? When I sign emails, I do that all the time and have to catch it. Luckily, I haven't actually sent one because I signed Tony,
Thank goodness.
I hit the Tiny. So don't feel bad.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, you are busy, dude.
I am.
Do a lot of
all
shit.
The time. Yeah.
First thing is, what's crazy to me is it turns out he's a teacher, I told you.
Yeah.
At Legacy High School, where my son is at right now.
Yes, indeed.
Wrapping up business. And I had no idea you were actually teaching, and you're teaching audio production.
Yep.
And also...
I teach audio production, and I teach a class on media and pop culture.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yes.
That's right up your alley.
Yes, it is. It's perfect. It's a godsend. But I'm also a student support liaison.
Okay.
So in between teaching, I have to be in the hallways,
monitoring
going to classrooms.
Yeah.
Sure.
Passing off information. Yeah. It's a lot. It's a big racket, but it's fun.
I understand that racket. So because I work at Lake Middle School out in Lakewood, been there for 6 years, teaching math now, but I'm also like an STL, so I get your struggle with the extra stuff on the plate, and you got to be out.
Yeah, you work at Lake. I think my homie Alex works there.
Alex who?
Alex Armstrong.
Oh my God! You know Alex Armstrong? He is one of my favorite people on the planet. Dude.
Alex Armstrong he's also the drummer in my band Beast of No Nation.
What? Did you not know that?
Shut up!
Yeah, dude.
Because he does a lot of projects.
Yeah.
He plays in a lot of shit.
Yeah, he plays in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and I always joked because he would have his drum set at school, and so I asked him, "Hey, you mind if I ever jump on there?" And I jump on it all the time, And I'm playing Funky Cole Medina. You know what I mean? It's like boom, boom, boom. It's all I got.
Yeah.
But it's so fun. But I love that, dude. We were actually co-teachers at one point, 5 years ago, maybe. We taught homeroom together
That's so wild.
Me and Alex Armstrong. I love him, dude.
It's so fun. We're gonna play a show tomorrow in Boulder, and I'm gonna tell him that I was on the show.
Oh, you have to. You have to. I should have him on.
You should have him on.
There's so many people that I need to just get on. I just don't. I'm just lazy. It happens. You know what I mean? You're a little beat down, a little
busy,
tired.
man. You do a lot too. You know, we're all doing them. I feel like we're all doing the most these days.
Oh yeah,
doesn't it feel like?
Oh
that?
yeah,
It does.
Yeah, it feels like everybody's just kind of caught in between so many different things that when we're all just trying to balance. It's a juggling act. It's not really a balancing act. It's wild, a juggling act.
You know, it's wild. Like you said, as we're older, like we're doing the most. Like I feel like in my 20s though, I was still like, I had a job.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was, partying at night, going out and doing all that stuff. But I feel like I was less busy than I am now.
Yes, it does feel that way.
Just like,
it does, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we just get old? Like, do we just get older and more sensitive to that type of stuff, or is it like?
I don't know, dude. I really don't know.
We keep track of it more. That's what it is.
Clearly, to me, time seems to. Your experience of time is different as you get older. To me, yeah. I mean, when they were 7 years old, dude, summer vacation was like 6 years. You know what I'm saying? Now, summer vacation is like, damn, those weeks flew by.
It was your teacher now. That's why you're like, fuck.
Yeah, even before I was a teacher, though. You know what I mean? When you're a kid, even like the Christmas season or Christmas break, or I remember that shit back in the day. It was like this giant break. Now you're like, it's 14 days.
Yeah, for real.
You know what I mean? That's gonna go by blink twice and it's over. So, yeah. So, talk to me about what you've been doing, because I was bumping some of your music earlier. You've got a new project that I was not aware of. Where do you want to start? What do you want to talk about first?
Well, we could talk about Beast of No Nation first, and then my new project is 2-Bit Boys. 2-Bit Boys is interesting because it's way different than anything I've ever done. It's
I actually haven't heard it.
Yeah. 2-Bit Boys is me and another one of my good friends in Beast of No Nation, my man Logan Chan. Shout out to Logan Chan doing his thing.
Hell yeah.
He is a really just knockout producer, and is just really into like R&B, but like the alternative kind of indie R&B. It's kind of mixed with this like dreamy pop music, and he just produces really well. And I'd always wanted to kind of like jump into that lane, so I started playing with him in the midst of doing Beast of No Nation. And Beast of No Nation is just like this big
fucking
Afro fusion.
Oh my
just
God, bro.
ridiculous.
I love it so much.
Yeah. It's I think it's kind of like I describe it as like the music that I always wanted to kind of like settle into eventually.
I wanted to add, on Ultraviolet, is that you singing? Who's singing?
So that
part?
is at the beginning, that's actually another one of my good friends who I'm playing with on May 9th at Spangalang Brewery, Timothy Horton.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Timothy Horton. He's another young brother, kind of from like right outside of Chicago, moved here, and he also does incredible like alternative R&B, just an incredible voice, an incredible guitarist, incredible musician all around because he plays guitar, keys, all that stuff. And we did Ultraviolet together. Yeah.
Damn, that song is so good. All those Passport, bro. I love that one.
Passport's a good one. Passport gets really, really raucous at the shows now.
But the two that I wrote them down because the two that stick out to me though, is After the Swig, and Slow Grind, bro. Those two songs, I'm like, this is the shit right here.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, that's good stuff, dude.
Yeah, After the Swig is that's kind of like that's that down south, that southern kind of funk sound. It's me paying homage to those roots of mine.
Yep.
And then Slow Grind is like the perfect balance between Juvenile and Harry Belafonte. You know what I'm saying? Because Harry Belafonte, if you think about it, like, Juvenile had backed that ass up. Harry Belafonte had shake, 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 Sinora, shake your body line. So like those sounds are very similar, and they're it's kind of like related in our music. So that song felt like a necessary way to kind of like pay homage to really both cultures, which is why like on this like kind of Afro-Caribbean sound, I pay homage to Juvenile. Girl, you working with an ass, but I'm trying to make her pass,
How can we ask you this? Because as a teacher, it's so time consuming, dude.
It is.
And creating lesson plans and having stuff ready to roll, materials for kids, all that good stuff, right? So you're working all the time. How do you find time? Because I've really been wanting to gig. And I'm changing jobs next year and going to move into a simpler position. And I think I'm going to have more time. But how do you find the time to do all the shit that you do?
Man, you don't. You really don't. The time
scrambling full time.
You really, and then when you get a moment to like just kind of rest and chill and be still, you really relish in it. But like, once again, and I think I'm realizing now that I was hyper projecting earlier, where it's like, yo, we're always just in between things and we're just juggling so much, because really I am doing that.
Yeah.
And when I do find the time to just kind of be still and chill, I'm really grateful for it.
Such a nice feeling when you've earned it, because I've been on the other end of that too, where you relax too much. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Get stuck in a funk.
I've been there too.
Can't get yourself going.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's a shitty thing. But yeah, it is nice when you are working your butt off. Especially for me, the big thing is when you feel like the work that you're doing has some kind of purpose and it's like fulfilling for you in some way, you know?
Absolutely.
That makes all the difference in the world, because I wasted so many years doing shit I didn't want to do. Because I was trying to build a music career and that's all I was thinking about. And I had to have some kind of stability for the family.
Right.
And so I was doing shit that I just hated, bro. It's like, nobody should do that. I think we're all outgrowing that as people. Like, we've got to move beyond that as a society of people being crammed into something that they don't fit into, you know?
Yeah. I think that unfortunately, though, that'll always kind of persist, because there are people that are just kind of adrift, man. There are people that are kind of like not necessarily certain about what they want to do. So it's like, one of the roles I think is like, I don't consider myself a teacher as much as like a facilitator. I'm here to facilitate conversation, creativity, a multitude of other things, ideas, to help people kind of identify what their purpose is, It's interesting teaching music too, because I remember jumping into it thinking to myself, like, everybody loves music, and there are some people in this world that actually do not like music very much.
That's wild.
And like, seriously, I've had students that are like, yo, I don't like music, mister. It's like, because you're just saying that because you don't want to do the work. Like, no, but they're like legit. They're like, oh no. You play a song, you play like a general song. You play it Smells Like Teen Spirit. They're like, never heard it. Don't like it. Don't even try it, mister. And I'm just like, all right, my bad, cuz.
Yeah, they decided before the song was played, probably.
Well, you got to turn in something on it.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? You better get on that Fisher Price thing and figure something out, my boy.
Yeah, something. What is it like for you working with kids now that you're like teaching young people? What grades do you teach, by the way?
I'm teaching, the audio production and media and pop culture class. It's an elective course. So I'm kind of seeing all the, like from 9th grade to 12th grade. So,
cool.
Anywhere from 14, honestly, like to 20 sometimes, man, because I teach at a pathway school.
Yep.
So, some of these kids have, like they're here to get it back, and you have to remind them like that it's okay if they're still focused and if they still like lock in, they can get it done. So, I enjoy helping people discover the gold that lives inside of them. You know what I mean? We're always mining for gold in so many different ways. We're mining for gems in so many different ways. And sometimes people are looking externally for those things. But I'm helping them look like internally and helping them like discover like the cool things about themselves that really have value and have, a lot of worth. So I really enjoy that. That's like one of my favorite things to do right now. It's my way of kind of like giving back, I guess.
Yeah. Like I said, there's something about when what you're spending your time doing and what you're putting your work and your craft into is actually like benefiting people in a way, kids that need it, and being at the school you're at in this area too. Oh, yeah. I know it's the same with me where I'm working. And by the way, the school I'm actually moving to is Martin Luther King right here around the corner.
Oh, really?
Yeah, right here.
Wow, you moving to MLK?
Yeah, because before I taught at Lake Middle School, I was working at Rocky Mountain College of Art and Design.
Oh, wow.
So for 11 years, bro, I've been driving from GVR all the way out to Lakewood and then back every single day. So I just finally had enough. So I started looking over here, and I've had my eyes on MLK for a while. I'm very interested in that school. And so I went and interviewed, and they ended up hiring me. And so I'm stoked, bro. And I'm stepping down from leadership. I'm just going to teach, be with my family, work on my music, do the podcast.
There you go.
Have some balance.
Yeah.
Haven't had balance in a while.
And that's where you'll find the time.
Yeah.
Once you step down from leadership, seriously.
Yeah.
Because technically, like, I am also technically leadership because of being on like this admin team and like really helping with like restorative justice processes.
Sure.
You know, have an understanding of people's like energies, vibrations, their patterns.
Right.
That's really like just kind of a spiritual thing. You just kind of tap into the spirit of the youth that you're working with. But I'll tell you what, man, when it's time for me to clock out, I'm clocked out. When I'm clocked out, I work in a 8 to 3, and then I work a 4 to midnight. You know what I'm saying? So like, once 3 hits, get the kids out the building. All right, now it's time to shift gears and focus on the music thing.
Dude, teachers need to hear that. Teachers do, because they're all overworked, and people that line between work and home has become so blurry for so many teachers. And so there's the ones I come across all the time, like you, that have that balance in place. Yeah. Some of the best teachers around, dude, because they're healthy individuals and they're balanced. Because because I've been both sides of the spectrum.
Right.
When I first started, I couldn't keep up. I was at a job before that when I was working at Rocky Mountain College of Art and Design. I'd get all my work done in like 2 hours, dude. 2 hours, and then the rest of the day. That's how I finished my bachelor's degree. But like, I just do whatever I wanted to do. And then I went to this other job where I'm just like scrambling, just a million miles a minute the entire day. And then you get home, and you're like, shit, I got all this stuff to get done for tomorrow. And so the first year and a half. And of course, I was a dumbass. I was getting a master's degree at the same time. So I was, you get to a point where you're like, there's more to life than this. No matter how fulfilling or how much of a purpose you're serving or helping others, at a certain point, you got to be a human being. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, man.
You got to have that balance. We need family in our life. We need some leisure time.
Oh, absolutely.
Some podcast time.
Podcasts. You know what I mean, Mike? Awful quiet over there tonight, Pierce.
Well, because I was going to tell him, with all the projects that he does, on my workout list is one of his songs.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Which one?
Spirit Cooking.
Spirit Cooking.
That's the really great video too, right?
Yeah, that's the music video you did too. Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
That one is like, that one's a pump you up song. Like when I'm in the gym, just like Spirit Cooking, dude. I was like, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Get you going.
Because that's what I was looking for. I was like, where is he at? Where is it at in here? I was like, it's in here. He's like, I know he didn't take it. I know he didn't do a Tony Dollar and take his music away from me.
All right.
You taking your music down?
I had, yeah. I took everything down because at one point I was like, my music is just sort of like in this weird lull right now where the thing that I'm always doing is writing songs. Like that never stops. So I've got a whole bunch of songs. I've got all kinds of demo tapes and shit going all the time. But like we talked about, it was impossible to find the time. I was like, my daughter's got volleyball practice. The other one's got cheer. They need help with their homework. We're just go. So the music is just chilling right now. But I told Mike, I'm going to put out an album this summer.
Yeah, you need to.
Yeah.
You need to. Like as a musician,
because nobody hears it. It just sits there on this fucking hard drive.
Yeah. And then when you do it, play out too. Like another thing that I feel like is going away is this concept of like aging out in music. You know what I'm saying? Like you could really do whatever kind of music that you want. If you think about it, like our heroes. Of course, there's some music that has a shelf life, right? If you're making music for the club, and you like if you're in the club in your 50s, then I guess it makes sense to stay there. But like outside of that, think about it. Like Bob Marley. Bob Marley's music is timeless. There is such a thing as timeless music, and I think that we have it in ourselves to create something timeless. And when it's timeless, doesn't matter how old you are, you can do it forever. I'll probably drop an album at 80. It'll be like a blues album about aging.
Yeah, just evolution, right? Yeah. Evolution of an artist. There's some artists that can switch over genres and are really successful at it. Queen Latifah went from hip hop to she's just R&B, and she does jazz.
Jazz now,
she does jazz, and then like Lady Gaga too, right? Lady Gaga can do a wide range of shit, dude.
Oh yeah,
dance music, jazz music, like all the kind of
Juicy
stuff.
J, bro.
Juicy J,
Juicy J did hip hop and 3 6 Mafia and produced for Project Pat.
Yep.
Juicy J dropped a jazz album recently.
Oh really?
What?
Oh shit.
There's a jazz version of Slob on My Knob.
Oh my god! Yes.
It's all like it's like slob or like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like it's so like it's like wow, damn. So yeah,
that is so funny, dude.
yeah.
Yeah, you gotta have everything, and I think for artists that are like, if you make music, you just gotta make what makes your heart happy, and that's why I think people get upset about that because when it comes to like companies and brands and shit, people like things to stay the same. You got to be predictable. They got to know what to expect. Whereas if you're just free, like the music that you make, my brother,
thank you.
That shit is. It's real. It's timeless. It's those things that you say it is,
Absolutely.
As opposed to because we're right now when you go on Spotify, all the things that we're hearing, like all the big mainstream music, so much of it is calculated now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's designed, with a group of people sitting together, looking at numbers, looking at how things work and how to put it together.
Yeah. Well, once we started to like really dive in, study the algorithm. That concept. And music has always been formulaic in some way, right? Pop music, that is.
Yeah.
There's a formula to it. People are like, yo, this is what's going to make this artist big. And there are certain
That's true.
artists that are aspiring, for like those bigger stages, for that bigger name, that are trying to like copy formulas, recipes, whatever, right? Most of it now is kind of targeted like for an algorithmic response, so that the algorithm like puts your music out there. And I think that that's why music feels canned in certain areas, in certain places.
It's true.
But it's always been that though, right? I mean, everybody was kung fu fighting at one point, right?
Yeah, it's true. And a lot of the things nowadays too are like Harry's saying, it's like algorithmic. A lot of these songs are being licensed to like Instagram, to like TikTok. So like people can, and CapCut. I think CapCut has like a subscription based thing. Like only if you do their subscription deal, you can use that music. And so it's licensed out as well from them. And then that's how like those trendy TikTok videos and the music and everything like that. And like we've said that before on one of our podcasts before, we had a band member, Duncan from Relate Denver, and he was on tour with a band that hadn't made music in 13 something years like that. And they had a one of their songs went viral on TikTok and revived them. So it went so viral that they were like, oh, maybe we should re-up this and go back on tour and make some more music.
I remember, oh my God, I'm blanking on his name, Chevrolet.
Tyler.
Yeah, same thing. His was his songs got picked up
for League of Legends. People were streaming.
Right. Wow.
And they were playing League of Legends and his music was on in the background.
So all of a sudden
people were
just
like,
got this.
like, oh, what is that music you're playing in the background?
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. Similar to Lil Nas X actually in that way. Because Lil Nas X, he was as the legend has it. There's the Red Dead Revolver, Red Dead Redemption, or whatever that video game was. And he had made Old Town Road and kind of like synced it to that. Like just in like in TikTok format.
Oh, okay.
And then that song blows up. And then as a result, everything that happens in his career happens.
Yeah.
Wow.
So like, music is like that, man. And it's also like, there's also like the fast food version of music too, right? Like whenever I'm fortunate enough to be in a relationship, I'll sit down with the young lady and they always want to watch, what's those shows like Too Hot to Handle or
it's reality shows.
What's the one where they're like dating in the rooms and then they come out like they never meet each other. It's like
the balloon popping one?
No.
I don't know.
No, it's a Netflix one, man. And they date in the rooms. They're like talking.
That's probably the one Jaden and his girl have been watching.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. And they don't see each other; they just hear each other.
Yeah, exactly. I can't think of the name.
And it's based on their answers and their voices.
And Nick Lachey and his wife hosted.
Yeah. Damn,
And I forget the name of the show. I wish I could, but everybody knows it. But like in between, whenever something happens, there's always some song that's played by an unknown artist, but it feels like it's made specifically for that show because it's just so. And I've even like tried to like Shazam one of those songs, and nothing ever comes up. You know what I mean? So like it's interesting. Like it's like
Well,
I
remember back in the day, like. As far as music goes, like on TV shows when they started to use mainstream music, like I cannot tell you how many times I've heard How to Save a Life.
Oh my God.
On like a nurse show or a doctor show. How
Yeah.
to Save a Life. And it's like, it's on one of like a Grey's Anatomy. It's on a Chicago Hope or whatever. You know, it's like one of those.
Yeah.
Shout out to the fray.
Remember when I was on that pursuit? I was like, I like educated myself on licensing and like signed up for these things where I would like, we'd go to these seminars and like learn what people were doing. And looking back on it, it was a phase I had to go through. But I didn't like it. Like I got a couple of things like this. Remember when I got the thing picked up for Pizza Hut?
Yeah.
But it was the song that plays like when you call.
You're on hold.
They had a couple of little things like that.
That's tight.
But that's what we were shooting for, was those big, the Grey's Anatomy or some like giant mega show where you get on there, and not only does it boost your career, but then you get all that licensing money too. Right. Especially if a show sticks around and keeps playing over and over, that money just keeps going in. So it's a cool business thing, but I don't know, you have to write for it.
You really do. That band actually, the Fray, they're from Colorado.
Yep.
Oh, you know that?
Yep.
Yeah. Dude, he was like, he worked in education, the guy that wrote that song.
Yeah. Did he? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he worked in education. He was like a psychologist at a school, and he wrote that song after one of his students had, passed on through suicide.
That's the story behind that song.
And he wrote that song.
Damn.
Isn't that interesting?
That's super interesting. And they went to, I know a couple of them went to CU Denver.
Yes.
Because they have a great
production.
music. Yeah, they have a great music.
Yeah, well, that's what Dean had said too. I think didn't he go to school with one of them or something like that?
Was that him?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the guests had some connection to those guys. But yeah, it's a local band. I remember when they were. That's the funny thing about getting old, though, right? Because I remember when they were like the new thing.
Yeah.
Like, these guys have been around forever now, bro.
Yeah.
They've been doing their thing.
I was in high school when they got big, and
were you?
I impressed many young ladies by playing that song.
Yeah.
Oh, man,
Got to, right?
Just killing it. That song and Chasing Cars by Snow Patrol was like my
Oh God, yeah, Snow Patrol.
pull out that guitar, just play it.
No.
I was doing
So
it, man.
let me ask you,
What's up?
Because you're a musician I respect. You're super creative.
Thank you.
Yes.
Never ending, like just constantly putting more stuff out and doing more projects.
Thank you.
Playing live. Why do you make music? Like, why?
I like to think that I make music. People will always say the thing like where it's like, it's my calling and it's my gift and it's whatever. I think honestly at this age in my life now, I've kind of reckoned with the fact that not many things make sense to me, but music does. Mm-hmm. So through music, I feel like I can communicate things on a higher level. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And also, like through like kind of putting like these sounds and these tones together, I can like kind of like inspire somebody to think differently. You know what I mean? Like music is a major, like it's a thinking tool, and it's communication. Like, what am I trying to communicate to this audience right now? Yeah. And it's not just in what you say, it's in what you play too. Mm-hmm. I mean, those classical, movements is what they called them then, right? Like those were meant to incite emotions based on how, those composers were putting that music together. And I think that for me, like I am trying to, just communicate just on a higher level, different emotions, different stories now. And also, I think in this time where a lot of people feel like marginalized and alienated, also kind of help them feel a sense of belonging. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think that can be communicated in music.
That's the thing. Music really brings people together.
It does.
It does, yeah.
It does.
And it's kind of at the core of everything, right? Because we're all vibration.
We are.
At the end of the day, that's what everything that we know is.
And
that's why music seems to feel so right.
I still like that saying that I had, that art is the decoration of a space, and music is the decoration of time.
It really is. It's funny. I'm actually working on my record right now, and I'm sending the mix notes back to the engineer, and as I'm doing, I'm like very specific in timestamps. But it's like, timestamps are like actually like that's the bread and butter of music. How long is this song? At what point does this thing that you just can't put this bass drop or this whoosh sound or whatever come in this song. You know what I mean? Like, it is really and truly the way that we decorate time. Yeah. And you know, that's a beautiful thing.
When I first started recording songs, I remember tripping out at like seeing those timestamps and realizing how much emotion and stuff can be packed into like 4 or 5 seconds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like those transitions, you don't realize, because music sometimes the beat, you know, you're so attached to that. But when I started seeing it like time wise, because like you said, when you're mixing and stuff, you're looking at those timestamps and you just realize like, damn, in 4 seconds it goes from this to this. That's fucking amazing to me. That's what's cool about songs, is they can take you on all kinds of journeys.
They really can.
And I think it's different for every person, right? The same exact song is going to take different people on a different journey.
Right.
They're going to experience it just through their perspective and what they know. And that's why some songs just really resonate with people, you know?
Yeah, it's very true. That's very true.
This has been really cool. We're kind of on a stint right now of like music and education, because last week we had Fat Track on. And he's like doing something sort of similar. He's got this cool idea where he wants to put together like a mobile van where he goes around, because he teaches kids music production and spinning and stuff like that, and DJing and all that.
Beats,
so,
yeah. Making,
By the way, so at our school we have a great. Do you know who DJ Chones is by chance?
I do.
Yeah, he actually works at our school. So he
really,
yeah, bro. He's a badass dude. He's like my big bro. But because I've been there for 6 years, and they started 1 year before I got there. They started building this audio production program, and it's just gotten to be this like awesome thing. And they've got these kids gigging all the time. They're out there, you know, spinning it for parties and shit. But we have this one who brought it up. Lacey McDonald when he was here, DJ Slickback. So we knew he got into this competition. I just found this out this morning. I had heard back. So he got into this giant DJ competition
nationwide.
Nationwide, right? There was some dude from Florida who actually won it, but this kid got all the way down to like, he was down to like the top 25, then the top 10, then the top 5, and he finished in 2nd place.
Wow.
And this kid is he's now I think he's in 9th grade now.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just ridiculous. And that's what they gave him his flowers to. The dude who won was from Florida, I think. And he basically told him, like, bro, I don't want to go against you in like 5 years. You know, you're 15 years old, just figuring this thing out.
Yeah, that's
and
wild, dude.
He's ridiculously good. But when you have DJ Chones running the program, you know what I mean? Like you get stuff like that. But it's just been cool. We've been on this run of this intersection of music and education, because when I was doing that master's, when I had way too much shit on my plate, one class I took was the history of education. And it's wild to me, like how schools were designed and set up. They're basically modeled after like prison systems. You essentially want people to get into, you know, these narrow pathways. You're going to do this and produce this for society. And that's sort of how our education system was born. So it's really an interesting territory that guys like you and me and DJ Chones and Fat Track are in, where we're working within this system that's, you know, been around for so long and has so many flaws, but we're in a different time now, and we're actually able to do some cool shit through it.
Yeah.
Which
prison systems
amazing.
and factories, because that's what they
factories
were,
is probably
was what they were trying to get everyone to do. You know, stand in line, do your thing. If you have a question, raise your hand. This is how we do it. We don't do it any other way. You know, stuff like that. And like, this is your lunch.
Straight rows.
This is your lunch.
Yep.
Now you're back from lunch. Go back to school. Work. This is the end of the day. That's it.
Yeah.
So that's how it was all designed to do that stuff like that. So
yeah, it's interesting because like I remember when I was my student's age, how much I hated school.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like I absolutely hated it. And then like I remember when I graduated high school and I had a scholarship for theater, the same scholarship that my boy Dom got.
I forgot you did theater too.
I remember like at my high school graduation saying, it's kind of ridiculous that I finished school. I got to go back to school. And I remember saying that, and everybody's like laughing. They didn't know I was like super pissed about it. I was like, I'm for real.
I gotta do this bullshit again.
Yeah.
This bullshit again.
Yeah, I had it in the back of my mind. I'm not going to school, bro. So like, it's funny, like to go through all the things that I've gone through in life to reach this point where, you know, now I'm, you know, in the school. And like in a lot of ways, I feel like I've kind of infiltrated it, right? Where it's like, oh snap, I can like help like influence these students to think a little bit more freely, and to think critically above all. Like we need more critical thinking, man.
Absolutely.
Seriously, we need people that like, why do I have to do this? You know what I mean? And when you're, like I think that anybody that asks why, like now that's a challenge, right? You're challenging another person to break down, the reasoning behind, this method, this application, or this whatever. Right. And what most educators are taught to do is, like ask more questions, which just really leads to like more frustration. Like I get frustrated by it. I'm like, nah, man, like sometimes I'm like, yo, I don't know actually. Let's find out why together. Let's and then now you turn this into a process where the both of us are actually learning. Yeah. And now we can look at each other and be like, yo, see, I didn't know that either. Like that's tight, right?
And who better to come from than somebody that like with your experience too? Because not only, you've done the education system on both sides, but you were also military as well.
Military,
and so you know that structure of this is what it is and this is how it's done, and don't ask about it.
Yeah. And I remember being in the military, and sometimes you get told to do something and being like, "This is so dumb." I guess we got to do it though. Let's do this dumb thing. But then also like sometimes like actively questioning authority. You know what I mean? Like remember when I was training soldiers at one point, and that we have to like stage these like realistic ambushes. And remember one time like I was in Virginia, I had a sergeant tell me to like lay down in this like grass and act like you're sniping these guys. I'm like, well, no, because there's like ticks down there, and like it's not happening. And this other guy was like, I'll do it, and he's like looking at me all in like this indignance. Like, I can't. That boy called me about an hour later, like, bro, I have ticks all over me. I told you, little homie. You gotta think.
That's like where was nightmare, bro.
You gotta think, dog.
I know. Yeah. That's a really interesting thing about you is those two sides of your personality. Because I think that there's not a lot of guys that are as free thinking and as creative and as what's the word I'm looking for? Just like coming up with new stuff all the time and thinking in different ways, questioning the system, and then also was able to find their spot in the military at some point.
Oh yeah.
Like that's so rare to come across somebody who's got both sides. Yeah. I think it makes you a pretty badass person.
Thank you. It's it's really just kind of like it's about an embrace, you know what I'm saying? In the military they call it like embrace the suck. You know what I mean? Like there are some aspects of life that suck, dog. Yeah. And you kind of have to embrace it. You know what I mean? Like lean in. Remind yourself that it sucks, but it's not going to change. You know what I mean? Last weekend with the Beast, we played in Fort. We're kind of on like what we call our little front range tour right now. You know what I'm saying? We played in Pueblo in 90-degree weather, which was lovely, and then we played in Fort Collins in like 29-degree weather while it was snowing, and that was one of those things where you had to embrace. And there are sometimes like somebody would come up. We all travel. Whatever musicians traveled out to Fort Collins there in that snowy weekend. And on Friday, specifically when we played, it was like actively snowing. Like it was snowing. And, people would look at us. And I remember one dude was like, man, I just hope that like the weather changes. And I'm like, it's not going to change, dog. We are here. It is snowing. It's going to keep snowing.
Let's kick ass.
Embrace the
just
suck.
Play and embrace the suck and just deal. And that's what we did. And I'll tell you, that was actually one of the best shows I've ever played in my life, in the snow, like, and seeing so many people like out there without a care, like dancing, because we were playing outside too.
Yeah, because you're bringing the energy though.
Yeah.
And they see that effort on the stage and they want to participate with that too. Yeah,
we were playing an outdoor show in the snow. And those people were out there dancing, like just dancing, and it makes you want to dance. And then, like, so it was like, man, this is actually really fun.
Yeah,
and it's cold, but you know what? Like, the more we move, you know what I'm saying, the more heat we're going to create.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
What's one of the funnest shows you've ever played? You played a ton of shows.
Now I'll say that show is very fun. I always have fun. Anytime I play at Spangalang Brewery in 5 Points. Like it's like there's an intimacy to that crowd, but also like just the people that worked and run that little brewery, like they are incredible. Just incredible energy. Their Juneteenth fest is always fun to play. The Dashiki Fest that goes on in August. This year it's happening again at Levitt Pavilion, and Femi Kuti, the Positive Force, will be playing this year. That was a really fun festival to play. UMS, Underground Music Showcase, always super fun to play. Any festival where you
isn't
get
that one like an invitation to? You had to get invited to UMS.
It's like you apply. I mean, you don't have to get invited. Anybody can go. You could buy a weekend pass or a day pass or something like that and go. I don't know. No, is there a festival where people? This invitation only?
No, for musicians.
Well, for musicians, you got to apply. For pretty much any festival, you got to apply. Yeah. Like UMS or Afropunk. Next year I'm going to try to get us into Afropunk. But from Afropunk to South by Southwest, like everybody applies.
That's what I mean, man. The time. I don't know how you find the time to do everything you do. Because I was just now sitting thinking about it too. You have this giant band, this other project, so it involves collaboration with people all the time, and you just have this like super laid back mode that you're always in. And so, like, I don't know, how the hell do you do all this shit? Like, do you sleep? He's all no, literally no.
I rest. I get some rest when I can.
He said rest.
Yeah, I said rest. Not sleep. Not sleep is tough, but I got when I can slow down, I do. But it's just I don't know. I just gotta do it, man. Just kind of like live with it, and then while you're doing it, just don't. Things don't have to be so heavy. Like I said, I already have an understanding of music. I have an like when I write a song, I know that I'm trying to convey something. And I've, worked to figure out what I'm going to convey, what I'm going to communicate. And then with the people that I'm collaborating with, I just communicate with them, to help me communicate that point even more. If I'm like, yo, we're writing this song and we want to make people dance, then
help people get the vision you've got.
The groove has to be undeniable. When I'm working with Logan Chan and 2-Bit Boys, now it's interesting because he produces most of the stuff. Like he produces pretty much everything in that project, and all I'm doing is communicating with words. You know what I'm saying? Like what I'm hearing in his production, which is like I've done that like as a rapper for so long, but now I think that it's not to say that like I'm not rapping anymore because I'm still like if anybody asks me, I'll be like, yeah, I'm still a rapper because like all the time. But like above all, brother. Above all now it's also like a band leader, right? It's a band leader, and it's also like a vocalist, and it's also like we're allowed to be as expansive as we want to be, but we also have to understand that to expand, you also have to relax a little. You have to be relaxed in some ways, dog. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm able to just kind of chill and float in these ways, because it's like, man, if I want to be ever expansive, I got to be relaxed, dog. You got to be flexible. Think about Gumby. Like Gumby's my hero in this life.
And it's true of everything, right? They say that about UFC fighters, like everybody, there's this kind of flow. Like when you get into this place where you're just perfectly calm and relaxed, and you know exactly what you're doing and you're completely focused on it.
Yeah. Yeah. If you stiff, you just try to do things like as a working stiff, you do anything stiff, then you are going to fall, and you're going to fall hard. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But if you just kind of flow and just allow yourself to be as flexible as you possibly can, then you can roll into a new position at any moment that you want to. So it's just like, just being relaxed, man. Just don't be so stiff on the shit. You know what I mean?
So how many active projects do you have going on right now?
I'd say 2.5, because I'm also about to start a residency at a Spangalang Brewery.
Okay.
Called Grub and Hip Hop. It's going to be like a hip hop brunch.
Oh, okay.
Just kind of like, sitting with a bunch of just really dope musicians and like really like playing out hip hop production. Turning them into like jazz standards and just kind of playing them out. So like I'd say like 2.5 right now.
Okay. Yeah. That's like Eric Benny Bloom.
Oh, Benny Bloom.
Yeah, so many
Yeah.
projects.
Do you know the band Lettuce by chance?
I do.
Yeah. So Benny Bloom's been on here. He's the trumpet player for those guys.
Oh man, say
Yeah.
word.
Yeah,
That's tight.
Yeah, he's the one. He won a Grammy for a country song,
Which is hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like you, he also has a side project. So outside of Lettuce, what's that? I love
Honky
it, dude.
Tonk.
It's Honky Tonk. It's like
Yeah.
it's a duo, right?
Yeah.
It's just him and his friend,
man.
and it's like it's like Americana kind of
Yep.
country music mixed together. But so I don't know, man. There's just so much to express out there, and I get overwhelmed sometimes because I'm a dad and I got 3 kids, and so I have a lot of weight on me. And then Pierce, and the listeners know me by now. Like I'm a worrier. I'm not a laid back Avery Jacobs over here. No, I want to be that guy, but I'm not. Because I worry about things a lot. And one of the things I worry about is like that selfishness of time, because when I was growing up, shit was not stable. And my dad was kind of crazy and selling meth, and he was just wild growing up. And so I wanted my kids to have a very different experience. And so sometimes I get real in my head when I've got my podcast and I got my music and I'm teaching full time. And at one point I was in school at the same time. And all I do is think about that time with my children. Because once you have kids, do you want to have kids, by the way? Is that something that's in your future? Maybe don't really care.
I've been kind of on a anti-natalist kick for a while.
Whoa.
So I don't know.
Tell me more about it. Now. That makes me so curious. What does that mean?
Anti-natalism. It's like it's this philosophy of like not wanting to bring kids into this world because of how painful existence can be.
Absolutely.
Because one of the things,
nobody's guaranteed anything.
Nobody's guaranteed anything.
Yeah.
You're not even guaranteed another moment.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And like having, been in the military and experienced loss, that's just like the misery of that pain, the misery of that misery. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Rhyming for you. I'm still a rapper.
He's
But like it's not something that I would wish on that which I love. So it's and I don't it's funny, I had a friend that was like on Facebook like, oh y'all brag about not having kids. I don't brag about the shit. Like this existence is difficult, cuz like it's difficult enough without trying to like slam dunk on somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's a philosophical concept that I like I'm like trying to understand within myself what why don't I want to, why does that, it's not just about the fact that I am doing a million things at once and I'm a little selfish, because you have to be a little selfish with your time when it comes to that stuff, but it's also like this existence is rough, man, and it's not something that it's not something I wish to explore at the moment.
Yeah, dude.
Well, then there's that line too that a lot of people say, like, well, if it makes you feel fulfilled, and da-da-da. Well, fulfillment is different to everybody.
It really is.
Oh, yeah.
Fulfillment is, music for you, pursuing other things, educating, stuff like that, all those kinds of different things. Not necessarily children is a fulfillment. Yeah.
And then some people also say a thing too, like I've heard this, like whenever I talk about this, because you mention it and then all of a sudden you get a bunch of challengers. So like, well, what happens when you get old? Who's going to take care of you when you're old? Well, I mean, hopefully I can still
take care of myself.
Right?
People always have something to say, bro.
Yeah, who's going to take care of you? Well,
they really do.
I mean, also, if you don't do it right, your kids might not take care of you.
They might not, man. There's a cool saying that I saw online. It's not cool, but it's like, if you spoil your child, then you'll be raising your grandchildren or something like that, which is like it's a philosophy that I've seen a lot of.
I've seen it in person.
I've
seen it in action.
In action. So
I've seen it in action too. Yeah,
and then it's interesting because then that person like is questioning then too, right? And they're always like, yo, I can't believe that like my son, daughter, whatever did this because I gave them everything, whatever they wanted. And it's like, oh, that's, excess, man. Sometimes comes back to you.
Yeah. No, I see Instagram and Facebook posts of people online and they're like, I don't know you have kids.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Like, oh, they're at grandma's for the weekend and, or like something like that. And I've actually had one person tell me before too, like, we went to somebody's house and the grandparents are watching the kids. I was like, you gotta tell that kid fucking stop that shit. I'm not the parents. He was the grandparent said that, right? Damn. I'm like, damn. So nobody's disciplining this child over here. They're just doing what the fuck they want.
Yeah, yeah, and that's cyclical.
Yeah,
that behavior is cyclical. That nature comes back in some way. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, I have like once again back to like my music is like a kid to me. You know what I'm saying? I understand it, and it grows with me. I grow with it. You know, I see it from its infancy. I call like writing a song like concepting something from Alpha to Zulu now.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But like that process still continues. So, you know, I've been very, very careful in my like, you know, time with people. And some people are like, you know, I've dated some girls where they're like, well, you know, I want to start a family soon. I'm like, well, cuz I am not the one for you.
Yeah. But that's important that you know yourself, you know what I mean? And you know what you want, and you know at least, and for the time, you never know how life
things could change.
Life's always
things could always change. You know,
zigging and zagging. You don't know, but dude, I do respect that because even on top of just what we know about the nature of life, there's like so much suffering involved with just being alive, and nothing's guaranteed. Yeah. But we're also in this like seemingly escalating environment where things are just getting real fucking wild. Because that's a big worry, and you probably too, that I have for my kids is like, man, what is it when they're my age, bro? When my kids are pushing 50, what is the world gonna look like?
Yeah,
I don't really know.
It's the unknown, right?
It's the unknown.
It's the unknown. But there's some beauty in the unknown too. I'm learning. Sure. I'm trying my best now to embrace the beauty of the unknown. You know, first and foremost, I want to circle back to something you said because you're like, I'm a worrier, Avery, which is fine actually because that's necessary. I mean, it's worrying means that you care. You know what I'm saying? Worrying means that you have concern, compassion, and it also ultimately means that you at any moment are planning ahead so that things don't go to shit. You know what I'm saying? And because even in the midst of whatever, like I'm worried about, like you're like, okay, that is when you're like that's when you're at your battle station. That's when you're putting all the things together. That's when you're building all the blocks to ensure that things are fortified, right? But the concept of like where are we gonna be? You know, where are your young ones going to be when they're your age? You know what I'm saying? In a different place, embracing and enduring different things, you know? Yeah. But because they're of your ilk, you know what I'm saying? And because you have done everything that you can to ensure, you know, your stability, they're going to learn that from you. You know what I'm saying? Like we are our ancestors' wildest dreams for a reason. You know, because that blood courses through our veins. Yeah. So those ideas course through our veins. That DNA is data. It's information that we have access to. And it is the thing that keeps, it's the thing that makes us resilient. And it's the thing that makes your offspring resilient as well. You know?
The fact that we're here.
Yeah.
I want deep on your ass. That's what actually, I'm fascinated. That's something I don't know that we've ever talked in great detail about. We've talked philosophy and things like that, but I'm very curious about the spiritual side of Avery Jacobs. Like what does your spirituality look like? Do you consider yourself religious or anything like that?
No, I'm not a religious person.
I assumed not. Yeah. Tell me more. Like what are your kind of like, whether it's beliefs or whatever you feel comfortable sharing, but someone like you who is laid back and is creative and I think is encouraging kids to think independently and critically and all those kinds of things. I'm very curious about what your spirituality looks like to have you in a good, solid place like that.
Well, I practice African spirituality because I grew up, you know, in America, because I am American, as a matter of fact. I'm forced to see that, and a veteran at that, you know what I mean? But I'm forced to see my African spirituality through a Western lens, because I can also identify that, like, in the world of philosophy and spirituality, that, like, the West has some good ideas and concepts, too. And I think I like to, it's funny because there's a bar that Jadakiss says, where he says, God is great, guard your space. One hand washes the other, both wash the face. And that's just kind of how I like.
Give me that one more time.
God is great, guard your space. One hand wash the other, both wash the face. And that's like when I remember being a kid hearing that, and I was like, oh my God, like that's it. So that's like, that's my spirituality right there. I believe in God. I believe in the greatness and the almighty of God. You know, I'm Yoruba from West Africa, ancestrally speaking. So, you know, I call God Olodumare, and, you know, I believe in the greatness of Olodumare, and I just believe in just making sure that, you know, my space is secured, just protect my aura, protect my energy at all times through different means, mostly prayer and veneration and ancestral veneration. And then, you know, I just kind of read some of this, read some of that, and use both of those to just kind of like cleanse myself and see the world through that lens.
I love that. So kind of take what you need from the different parts.
No, yeah, because to me, like all the paths, like you know, Pope Francis RP said a really empowering thing to me. That was the first time, and it was interesting because, like, you know, a lot of the Christian folks considered it, you know, heretical or whatever. And I'm sure there were some Catholic folks that were really mad
way with some of his.
And I get it. It is what it is, you know. But recently, like right before he passed, he said something to the effect of like all paths lead to God.
Yeah.
And you know,
yes, I remember that.
That's an interesting thing because that is a concept that's similar to.
People were so pissed.
They were super pissed.
People were so mad that he said that.
But that's a similar concept to the Baha'i faith, you know what I'm saying, which is like a Persian faith where they believe that all paths lead to God. So like that's not a new concept. It's just, you know, but it's a scary concept to people that are still crusading. You know what I'm saying? Because there are still crusaders out here.
Oh, yeah.
That's the problem I've always had with religion is like, it'd be like if every person who does music writes the exact same song. Like, to me, it's so nuanced. Like, your spirituality and how you connect to the universe and your beliefs and your values about all that is so unique to every individual person through their experience. If, you know, depending on who you talk to, your past lives, those kind of things all come into play. And so I always struggled with, like, being religious. Like, this is my religion and I'm committed to this one way. And I think for some people, it's awesome. There's some people that religion works great for those people. Yeah. But when it comes down to it, it's like, I love that because something I've always gotten shit for. I was raised Pentecostal Christian and with an uncle who was a pastor and, you know, really close to it. I went to a United Pentecostal church one time, which was real crazy, where everybody was speaking in tongues and like the whole fucking church gathered around me. And I was like in this awkward situation and I faked it.
No snaps.
Bro, just because I wanted it to end, they wouldn't stop. Everybody's hands were on me. It freaked me the fuck out. So I was like super, super scared of it.
You spoke in tongues, like, but you faked it. You spoke gibberish.
Yeah, that's literally what I did. And people will be so mad about that. But I didn't know. I was like, why are they? Because, so if you don't know, for people who don't know, there's Pentecostal Christian and then there's United Pentecostal Christian. So United Pentecostal Christian is kind of like Pentecostal on steroids. Like, it's next level. Like, your earrings got to be right. Like, you shouldn't have your hair in the wrong way. Like, women should act a certain way. And it's like really, really, really strict. And I had never been to a church like that. And I went to it with this dude who was a next door neighbor and went to the church and it was fucking wild, bro.
Do they have snakes and stuff? Is that where the snakes come
No, they didn't have snakes.
Is that Baptist? Is
that Baptist that do the snakes?
I think that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yo, if I go to a church and some snakes come out, I'm like, cuz, hey, what y'all doing,
snakes?
man?
No, wait.
No, man.
Welcome to the jungle.
I'll turn into Samuel L. Jackson real. I'm had it with these motherfucking snakes
in this motherfucking church.
Yeah, no doubt. But that's my point is like, even so, I found my own path and my own thing with the Bible and with Jesus.
Yeah.
And I also have like such an affection for Buddhism and I practice Zazen meditation for a lot of years. And so to me, I always talk about those two coming together for me. And that's just me. That's just like the things that help guide me, the Eightfold Path in Buddhism, the teachings of Jesus, you know, the Sermon on the Mount. There's like so many things that just kind of go into me where is why I struggle. But if I tell it to my Christian friends or my Christian family, you know, Buddhism. Yeah. With the irony though is with Buddhists, they don't give a shit.
They don't.
No, you're like, oh, you're a Christian. Oh, cool.
Yeah. Well, Buddhism, like, because Buddhism, like, in that way, I've always seen Buddhism as more of a philosophy, right?
I can see that.
It's more of a philosophical thing where, like, myself, like, within my African spirituality, like, which, like, if I, like, it pisses a lot of people off whenever I say this, but, like, I practice Ifa, and to me, Ifa can be like kind of seen as like this African Zen, depending on how you apply it. You know,
I feel like I've heard that. What is Ifa?
Ifa, it's a West African spiritual system, and really they consider it like an occult science kind of. It's like so there's a science to it because there's this like real deep understanding of like, you know, how things work on a scientific level, but also a spiritual level. You know what I'm saying? Like you'll wear alekes around your neck because they say that the seat of your ancestral history begins at the back of your neck. But like that's also the place where your cerebral cortex and your spine are connected. Wow. You know what I'm saying? They'll you know, pray to the east, but that's also because the sun rises to the east. You know what I'm saying? They'll bow their head, you know what I mean, to the ground and make sure that their forehead is touching the ground, but that's also your pineal gland. So it's like it's there, but they also say that that's where like your personal deity lives. You know what I'm saying? But they, in other concepts, like that's your third eye. So it's like all these things are happening all at once, and it really just depends on what you're tapped into. And I think it's super important, super necessary to consider them all and just see how they all line up because they're all connected. And you know, at the end of the day, just the religious folks are zealots, man. They're zealots and they're still crusading and they still, you know.
What is that? What do you think is driving people? They want theirs to be right? Is it that simple? They want to know that they have the right answer?
Well, yeah, man. I mean, it's like betting the ponies, man. You want to make sure you want to make sure you bet the right pony, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you don't bet you can't say all ponies are the winners.
Yeah, right.
That's not how betting works.
No, our pony is the winner.
You're like, no, our pony's going to win.
Thoroughbred.
Yeah, I feel like anybody who tells you exactly what's going to happen when you die is full of shit.
Yeah, well, they don't know because they're still alive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how can you, like, and then, like, what do you have to stand on? Well, it's like, well, I know because I heard from this person. It's actually
because it's written down.
They talk to me all
somewhere.
the time.
There are those people that, you know, that flatline for a while and then come back. And those experiences, there's a lot of similarity in a lot of those types of experiences where it's like, as, you know, sometimes it's feeling a light, seeing a light, but it's also this, people speak of this like super comfortable bliss. Like they just feel this like absence of pain. And so a lot to me, like my personal beliefs is just how I kind of instinctively feel about the universe is that is sort of what we're in here. Like in Buddhism, samsara, like this world that we live in is suffering and there is pain imbued in it. It is just part of this experience. But I do get the sense that there's, if not multiple realms, there's some realm beyond this where that's not the case. And I feel the same way about time. Like I feel like time and suffering and these things are not necessarily inherent in every crevice of, you know, the universe beyond even the known universe.
I like that. I like to also think that we're experiencing that in real time too. You know what I'm saying? I think that we are oscillating so often between pain and pleasure. You know what I'm saying? So like all these things are all happening at once, you know?
Absolutely.
But it just, once again, it just depends on what you're tapped into. It depends on what frequency, you know what I'm saying, is speaking to you at that moment, you know? So
almost where is your attention and your intention?
Right, exactly.
And where you put it, you will get results.
Exactly.
Sure.
All right, so the snake handling. You're right. It is Pentecost.
I told you, man.
It is. You're right.
Oh shit!
It's called serpent handling.
Glad my family didn't
And
do that
it's
shit.
and it's part of the holiness movement. So there's
Is it Pentecostal or United Pentecostal?
no, it's holiness or Pentecostals. That's what it says. So and it's mostly it started in the Appalachian region, but it's mostly in the South. So partially right. You were on the right on the dot on that one with the Pentecostals. So yeah,
Interesting.
they're the ones that like do they hold the snake and they do the like.
I'm not
the
surprised.
cross.
I never saw it growing up, and I was around a lot of Pentecostals, but I'm not at all surprised.
Because that'd be crazy. I'm telling you. Like, I feel like it's going to happen one day, man. Somebody's going to come with a snake somewhere. And I'm just like, I'm also terrified of snakes.
Yeah, you know, my wife too.
Yeah,
that's like her
terrified
major.
of snakes. I don't. So like, you know, if ever I'm in that place, I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Well, it's like me, I'm all right with snakes, but like with like spiders, like tarantulas and shit like that.
That's me, bro.
Like
no.
we went to the butterfly pavilion like years ago when my daughter was young, and they have the thing there called Rosie, right? The tarantula, and you hold Rosie the tarantula. They put it in your hands, and hold it, and like the lady's like, it's not gonna bite you. It's not poison. It's not poisonous.
Oh, stop.
They tell me it's not poisonous, and I'm like, yeah, but them bitches are still gonna hurt.
Yeah.
If that thing bites me, if like
fangs,
I don't, yeah, it has fangs.
Those are big ass teeth.
Right,
Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm like, and so like the picture of me like holding the Rosie, I'm like this,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, the minute they took the picture, I was like, okay, take it.
yeah.
I was like,
you held it?
yeah, dude.
held
I was like,
Brave
Oh my
soul,
God.
dude.
oh my God. But yeah, it was like they said, it's not poisonous. I'm like, yeah, the poison thing I don't care about
Right.
that poison thing.
Right.
Like I'm sure there's an anti-venom and we can go and do that. My thing is that shit's gonna hurt still if it bites me.
Tarantulas are wild to me, man, because tarantulas it's a spider, but I feel like it qualifies as a rodent somehow too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Because it's so big and
like
furry.
it's big and it's furry.
And there's
it's
some of
like-
them that
Yeah.
can like fling their hairs and
Hell
like create like itching and shit like that.
Hell nah.
Yeah, so
Stop.
Nah, man. Nah. I've never seen a tarantula in real life.
that's like
I never want to see a tarantula
That's
in real
like,
life. I just don't want to see
well,
it.
then don't go down south like Pueblo and stuff like that. I think it's like at the end of summer when they do like their fucking migration, like the streets
Oh no!
are covered in
Is that a
tarantulas.
thing?
Yeah, dude. It's a
Oh my
thing down
god!
there,
I have
yeah.
to look up some videos of this,
Bro.
It's like massive.
Yeah, a bunch of tarantulas fucking crossing the road.
Oh my
Fuck
god.
that, dude.
In Pueblo?
No
Yeah.
way.
That's crazy.
He was like, I was just there. I was just there.
What month is this happening?
I think it's
bro?
like
Yeah.
towards the end of like summer. Like,
Okay,
towards the fall,
cool.
like, when they're, like,
Yeah.
We avoid
Note to
Pueblo
self.
around that time. Yeah. Hell no. You know the spiders that get me worse than like the tarantula type though, or growing up where I grew up was packed with black widows.
Black widows.
Oh man.
Fuck black widows, that big bulbous abdomen, those like shiny.
It just says
fucking
dangerous.
They're shiny.
It just fucking says
Come on, bro.
dangerous.
Yeah,
you
it
just look at it
does.
like fucking dangerous.
It's got a red hourglass
Yeah.
on its ass
Yeah.
Yeah.
to let you know if I
Look the
bite
fuck
you,
out, yeah.
You have this much time.
your time is
Yeah,
up.
that's exactly. You have this much time, which is not a lot.
Remember that time I told you at the house when it was the middle of winter? Because one thing I never experienced was it doesn't get that cold where I grew up. But here, there's black widows here, and I didn't believe it for a long time because we have a shit ton where I grew up.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, there's no black widows. And then one day I was doing landscaping, I saw one in a bush, and I was
Yep.
like, oh shit, that's an actual black widow. And then after that, I realized, okay, here and there I've seen them. There are black widows
Yeah.
out here. But one time it was the middle of winter, and out here when it gets cold,
come
get all
inside.
but they get all fucked up. Like they can't. They're like in this like semi hibernation state if they get too cold. It seems like this is all in my brain. I haven't looked up any of this research.
shit.
Like, I have no studies to cite for where's the camera?
I believed him. I believed him.
No, but this because I've seen black widows in the winter here when it's like super cold. And they're just like really sluggish. Like they don't seem to have control. But I was moving shit out of the garage and I looked up, dude. And there's a fucking black widow hanging above my head. I've had nightmares my whole life about some shit like that.
No.
And then as I looked at it, I realized it was in that state. Like it was like barely. But I couldn't even kill it, dude. I was like, I just have to get the fuck away. from
No,
this
because
thing.
what it was trying to do was like, this motherfucker doesn't know I'm here. I'm gonna come down there and get some blood.
It's slow.
Because
Get
they
some blood.
look right, and they're so big that you don't think about it. But I've seen those things on those webs, and they will fucking.
Yeah,
I mean, they can
Yeah.
move so
well,
fast.
it's like that whole like the whole saying, right? There's nothing scarier than seeing a spider, going to go get a shoe to smash the spider,
And then the spider
and coming
gone.
back to no spider.
Fuck that, dude. Oh no!
I can't even.
I remember my uncle's a badass. I remember they had this shed behind my grandma's house, and you would look in, you could literally see multiple black widows. Like
You just
there was
go in there and just get
It was
the
like a
shit.
big old nest, bro. He's moving webs out the way and grabbing shit. I was just like,
That's
oh my
badass.
god, dude, smoking a joint. This
That's
is the same uncle who
badass.
came out here, got fucking wasted, drinking beers, smoking joints, and was like the best golfer I've ever seen in my life.
That's hilarious.
I was like, wow. Remember, he
his
told
name?
me. He kept telling me pick up the ball because I'm shitty at golf.
Yeah.
Terrible. I was a little high, but I wasn't even drunk. I just couldn't play. Have you ever played golf before,
A long time ago.
dude?
A long time ago.
If you've never done it, it's so much harder than it looks. You golf fairly
Yeah.
often, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
I gotta
Are you good, by the way? I've never asked you.
I go 80s.
I don't know what that
It's
means.
decent. Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay. What's really good? What's like professional level?
Oh, you're talking like 60s and 50s.
Okay, and what is that? That's under par or something?
Yeah,
or?
it's under par. Yeah, so usually like a par
or like an 18-hole
course
course
is like a 70. In the 70s as pars, stuff like that. So I'm going. Sometimes a lot of the time I'll do double bogey golf, like when I'm first starting off, and then like as the summer goes, like I'll get like 82, 84, shoot those. Yeah.
Yeah, you golf. We are old as fuck, Pierce. My golfing reference is disc golf.
Disc golf.
So I understand. I have the basic understanding.
Again, you're
of the
a
game.
stoner, so
Yeah.
disc golf is a stoner game.
Till the day I die, bro. Yeah, interesting. You ever play disc golf? You ever tried that?
No, man. I don't play no sports, man. I'm not an athlete.
That's a stretch calling that one a sport, I'd say. It's more like walking around in a field smoking weed and throwing shit.
Yeah. Watch this, guys.
like hacky sack or something like that.
Yeah, it's as much of a sport as hacky sack is.
Hacky sack. Some guys, man. Hacky sack. My mama bought me a hacky sack when I was young. I was like, what am I going to do with this?
That was the thing, to be good at it. That's how much of a freaking stoner I was. I wanted to ask you: are you big on history? I'm just listening to some of your lyrics. I get the impression that you're a scholar of history.
Yeah, love history.
If you could go back in time and you could sit down and have coffee or tea or whatever or a beer with one historical figure, any one historical figure, who would it be and why?
That was such a good question. And it's. The wild part about that is like whenever I'm asked that question, I usually always say nobody. And the reason being is because I believe in being present in such a radical way that I don't think that there's any other time that I would rather be. You know what I'm saying? Like we are here and we are having this conversation.
Sure.
And this is very important to me. And like while it's like, man, if I could go back in time, I'd, talk to this person and I'd gain this knowledge and be able to come back. That's just too fanciful for me.
Is there anybody who, if they were alive, you think you might enjoy their company or conversation?
Nah, because I'm very staunch about not meeting my heroes. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
Very
don't want to be
staunch
disappointed.
about it. Don't want to be disappointed, man. Like Kanye West is a good example of that. Kanye West was my hero for a long time. And look at what's happening right now. Like, look at the unraveling that is taking shape in real time. And, that is, it just can't go down.
Well, because we've talked about that a lot too, separating a lot of times the artist from the artist. Artist from the art, because that is an interesting thing.
It can happen sometimes. Yeah. I think it depends on who the artist is, right? Like R. Kelly, I can't separate the art from the artist because most of his art is about raunchy shit, and you know what I'm saying?
Checks out.
Yeah, like that's a difficult one. You know what I'm saying?
Makes sense. It's
Kanye West, maybe. Kanye. Like it's like to me, there's a range between them. The range that I've created now is like most problematic R. Kelly. Problematic as hell, but somewhere in that middle range, Kanye West. Like the top of it, who it's like you there are so many allegations and this and this and this. Michael Jackson, you know what I'm saying? Where it's like,
allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. And it's and that's like in bold letters, right? Bold and underlined and so just you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like I have no problem listening to Michael Jackson. Bill Cosby's a rough one. Bill Cosby's a rough one because Bill Cosby contradicted.
Yeah, because he played that caring dad and
So I haven't been able to watch the Cosby Show since. It's weird.
Yeah.
Or watch himself. And himself was such a great stand-up.
Yeah, it was one of the
crooked
best.
tie the entire.
You know what I'm saying? Sitting in the chair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like,
I know.
You know what I mean? Like, it was so
one of the greatest specials ever recorded.
Haven't seen it since.
Yeah.
But now I have seen some of the films, though. Because, like, he was on a run for a while with Sidney Poitier, So they have a lot of, Uptown Saturday Night and Let's Do It Again. They did a lot of films where they collaborated.
Yeah.
I can still watch those films. I just can't watch the stand-up.
I wonder what's well, I guess what's different is he's acting in the movies, right? Literally the special is himself.
Yeah.
It's called. So it's like it's the guy, the same dude.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're acting, you're playing a different character. I could see it being a little more tolerable.
What about Louis C.K.?
Yeah, what do you think?
You know, Louis C.K.
Now, Louis C.K. is that's an interesting one too, because like Louis C.K. in some way took accountability. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Didn't make any apologies, but you know, like Louis C.K. It's crazy because Louis C.K. is really funny too.
Yes,
so
Louis
funny.
C.K. is
Funny, dude.
really funny.
So funny.
You know what I'm saying? And Louis C.K. still has a career, dude. Like Louis C.K. won a Grammy after that for comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So like, it's
I think you hit it on the head. I think it was like the pure ownership of it. He was like real about the whole thing, and it was kind of a different thing. It was more. I mean, it's
actually
different than putting
sad.
shit in. It's different than putting shit in people's drinks.
Yeah,
You know
it's
what I'm
kind of
saying?
sad. Like
It
it's to
is.
me like it's like, but not in like a sad way where it's like, oh man, I can't believe it. It's like, dude, you were like. You like you just pulled your dick out and like masturbated in front of like
Girls.
that's like sad, bro. Like that's like, bro, why would you do that? Like, who, like was that like that was good for you? Like what? Like why would you do that?
What are you
like,
getting out of this?
Like they're like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Sure.
you know, like I still like, you know what I'm saying? Not to get like too personal, but I'm like not, you know, like whenever I wank, I'm not like, damn, that was wonderful. I'll be like,
I wonder what somebody else would think about this.
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I thought this was dope. I bet somebody else would think this is dope
Yeah,
too.
like, hey,
Pretty wild.
you know, it turned me on, man. If I was, it's really sad, man. So I think that we pity Louis C.K. It's kind of sad that he went through that, dog. But like, you know, like I'd say this, I would watch, and this is wild. I would be able to, because of the accountability, I would watch Louis C.K. before I watch Bill Cosby.
Yeah, same.
You know?
I think I could watch Louis C.K. I haven't, but I think I could.
Yeah.
I think I could.
Yeah, I don't seek it out. You know what I'm saying? I don't like.
I think there's a big difference in what they were doing too.
There was.
You know what I mean? There's real. Bill Cosby's thing wasn't sad. That was fucked up.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fucked up stuff when you're putting people in a different conscious state and taking advantage of them physically and doing all kinds of wild shit like that.
Yeah, Bill Cosby also like so many victims in his wake, and not just the sexual kind either. You know what I'm saying? Like niggas still can't eat pudding.
Put the pudding.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I can't eat pudding in peace. Like I'm like, I have to like somebody sees me eating
like
pudding.
Avery's
like,
shamed
whoa,
if he's outside with a snack pack.
Okay. Oh. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just trying to like enjoy my butterscotch pudding and shit like that. Like, bro.
Avery just at home was like,
You know what I'm saying? Make sure nobody's watching.
nobody.
Somebody pull the easiest way to blackmail me, man. Pull up on me. Got pictures of you eating pudding, bro. Shit.
Busted, bro. Busted. You know,
now I'm gonna just watch. I'm gonna look out for that stuff. Like, yeah, he was right. I've never seen a black person
I'm
eat
just
no
saying,
pudding
like, you have
anywhere.
not seen a black guy eat pudding since. Like, pudding is like.
Now I want to go to like a restaurant and just like act like a waiter, you know, a server, and just be like, go up to a table with a black guy and like, today's dessert is a banana pudding, chocolate pudding, bread pudding. Nah, I'm
Yeah, no, I'm good.
it's free. It's free.
What type of pudding you get? Like,
One more time. Let go.
how many, which ones you got?
No, you have to eat it here.
Let me hear the options one more time.
eat here? I don't know.
Nah, I'm good.
We're coming up here in the last few minutes. We still got some time. But what's a question that you wish that I had asked or that people would ask you in interviews? What's the question that doesn't get asked that you're like, man, why does nobody ask me this?
Man, you know what? What's your favorite type of cheese?
Your favorite type of cheese?
Nobody asked that.
What's your favorite type of cheese?
Fucking love that.
Havarti.
I had
Let's
Havarti today.
go. Me too.
I had
That's my
Havarti
favorite
today
kind of
on my
cheese.
sandwich.
Get out of here.
Yeah, I had a turkey sandwich with Havarti on it.
Dude,
Havarti's
Yeah.
the
it's
shit.
good. It's like got this little smoky ting to it.
Yeah. And if you get the Havarti with the rind on the outside,
Yeah,
too,
I'm
the
trying
yellow
to tell
rind.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love Havarti. You know what I'm saying? Havarti. I like Fontina.
Okay.
Fontina cheese is good for like macaroni and cheese whenever you're making like the baked
Ooh,
macaroni
like a
and cheese.
creaminess, giving that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Fontina is a good cheese. You never go wrong with good little pepper jack.
Yep.
Little thin
Do you
slice
like
of tomato.
We got very similar taste in cheese.
Provolone.
Provolone's good. Provolone's good, man. You don't like provolone?
No, I don't dislike provolone. But if I had Havarti and provolone, I'm going Havarti every time.
Yeah, I would say that too.
Well, because the flavor, it's more of a flavor to that Havarti.
Yeah,
Provolone's if I'm trying to lose a couple pounds.
I can see that. I can see that. Yeah. Nobody ever asked me about. Nobody ever asked me about my cheese preferences, and
no one's ever asked you that. You've done a lot of interviews, I assume. I know you've done a couple for us.
I've done a few, man. Yeah. The last interview we did was great because I was in Texas and.
That was fun.
I was telling you I was experiencing like spiritual psychosis in the South.
Yeah.
Always experience it for some reason, and I'm just drinking Seagram 7. I feel like that was such an unhinged interview.
Oh my god!
Like I woke up the next day and I was like, "Cuz."
We should go back and listen. I don't even know what episode that was. Do you?
You know what's hilarious is talking about Seagrams. My friend Sarah said that I ordered 7 and 7 at the bar one time, and she was like. Where are you from? She's like, that's a hood drink.
Really?
I was like, yeah. I mean, I grew up in Montbello, so like
7 and 7's a hood drink.
Yeah, apparently.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. 7 and 7.
Damn. I love 7 and 7. It's like my favorite. My favorite one, actually.
The favorite above all else.
Above all else. See, 7 and 7. 7 and 7 above all, man.
Because they're paying me for it.
Yeah, then I'll do a good sidecar, maybe. A good sidecar is good.
Okay.
When I'm feeling fancy.
You're fancy.
So I want to surprise a bartender.
Surprise the bartender.
Yeah. You guys make a sidecar.
What?
Sidecar. Yeah. Do you have Hennessy? Yes, you're real indignant like that. Hennessy, do you have it?
Do you? What do you think? Like we were talking about, things are crazy right now. Donald Trump's in his second term now. What do you think is going on with our country and the bigger thing? I'm curious about someone like you who kind of thinks outside the box. We don't talk a lot of politics on here. We're not political experts, but I think it's affecting everybody right now. What are your thoughts on it? How do you feel about the whole situation and like where our country's at?
I say this all the time. Like I don't play politics because there's no God in politics. I always say, but I will say this: like the day after Donald Trump won the presidency, I started writing a song called "Fall, Fall, Fall," and I wrote that because I was like, okay, here we are, and to me, I was firm in this concept where it's like no matter who won, we were entering into the fall of civilization, you know? So I think
Western civilization specifically with us at the center of it, probably.
Absolutely. And it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that like we'll be destabilized so much that we end up in, you know what I'm saying, like the most impoverished countries because there's too many rich people here. You know what I'm saying? Like there are a lot of poor people here, but like, you know, the game that rich people play is like, you too can be rich. So people just keep working and the rich get richer. Dream. And then it's you know, things just kind of like, once again, it's a cycle. So, you know, I think that we just have to hold fast. I think that we have to unite as, you know, things just kind of fall. The chips will fall. Okay. That just is what it is. But I think that as much conversation as we have, you know, as much common ground as we can find, and as much diversity as we can actually embrace. You know what I'm saying? You know, I think it's pretty clear to me that like, you know, this administration is, you know, like diversity is like a bad word. You know what I'm saying? They've, you know, done so much to just kind of like topple diversity, or just
under the guise of, you know, efficiency and cleaning things up, but that's all bullshit.
It's you know, it's dog whistle race baiting.
Absolutely.
But you know,
which we saw when he ran the first time too. There was a lot of that going on, bro. Where it was just like he was like, like the good old boys when he was like, what was the fucking quote he said?
Stand back and stand by.
Stand by.
I remember that. That was so wild. It's crazy because I haven't heard him like it's gonna come up because like we're at a trade war right now with China. I haven't even heard him say. I have not heard him say China, but I haven't been looking out for it either though. But usually like it's the way that he just says it. It's just
China.
like he's China.
Yo,
dude, I just don't know how one person could single-handedly fuck the economy so quickly. Like all these tariffs, because even if you back down and you just, this is all bluff, right? And we pull back on all this shit because everyone's getting pissed, no one's going to work with us. It's going to fucking just totally screw over people in America for sure. Even if you do that, there's irreparable damage at this point. Like we're going to go through some serious financial shit over the next, who knows how long, depends on what comes of all this. But it's the instability.
Yeah, well, Ronald Reagan did it too, right?
That too.
Yeah.
But his thing is like there's a lack of coherence of the plan. Like even if you don't agree with what he wants to do, no one fucking knows what he wants to do. Japan literally came here. They sent their people here to Washington D.C. to be like, okay, we just came to like see like what do you want? And I can't remember what the response was, but it was basically like no answer as to what we actually want. And Japan's like, okay, look, we don't want to fight or anything, but like, what is it you want? Nobody could tell them.
Man,
like this is a problem.
Yeah.
You know what we want. No, what do you want? You know.
That Japanese denim is what I know, buddy.
Those jeans that last forever.
Those jeans,
bro.
They
make some serious chaps. Yeah.
Great jeans, great cars.
Yeah, I got one sitting outside there. Toyota Tacoma, baby. Yeah, actually, I don't think those are made in Japan.
No.
Where's that now? No, Nissan went to France. I don't know where. But see, that's the thing. We're trying to change it. They want to change everything, but they're not thinking anything through. Like, we're going to have everything homegrown here in America. But like, well, we don't have the shit to do it.
Yeah, we don't.
No, we don't.
Yeah,
because we've gone so long relying on others to do it for us.
Meanwhile, China's been building up their supply chains in a beautiful way. They've got everything squared away. And then here we are, like, just talking all this shit to people that are in a much better situation than we're in. We do not have the leverage, and the shit we're saying doesn't make sense. Nobody knows.
Well, I was talking to Justin Friedman, past guest on our show, and he now does like he tunes like Mazdas and stuff like that. Like he's real niche, and he's been taken off because nobody tunes Mazdas, right? And he's down in Colombia or Brazil,
Okay,
right? And he's down there. I was like, oh, what are they? He's like, yeah, dude. He's like, they have tons of Mazdas down here, and And I was like, what other cars? He goes, you have, Opals and this and that, like all these other different fucking cars. And I was like, what about American cars? He goes, nah, bro. I was like, they don't have American cars.
Well, and that's the big push.
He goes, they have like, like maybe like a Ford Raptor or something like that.
Dude, they wanted Japan to lower their safety standards so that American cars could compete in Japan.
Yeah.
Why? Why would they do that? Superior cars, bud. Like, what the fuck are we doing? And then I just don't know. I don't know where it's going to end. And I know I come across like I'm political, but I just feel like for the first time we've just got somebody in that position that's like doesn't have a fucking plan.
Yeah.
What is the plan?
Somebody had compared it to the. Have you ever seen the movie Idiocracy?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you seen that? President
so
Hector Camacho.
Irrelevant right
so
now.
often.
President Hector Mountain Dew Camacho.
Shout out to Mike Judge, man.
Yeah.
One of the greatest. Yeah. Absolutely.
Subway sandwiches. Why do you keep on saying that? Because like you pay me. They pay you what? To say the Subway sandwiches.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where it's all going to go, but I love your general philosophy. I feel like that's the way it is with everything that you approach in life.
Yeah,
it's like, I'm just here in the here and now. Things are what they are. We're going to navigate them one moment at a time.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay in the pocket.
Yeah. Hey.
Make some fucking great music.
Que sera, sera, my brother. Whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Like, that's that thing. It really is that. And it always comes back to the music, man. You know what I mean? We're always, there are so many different things that are communicated before us that can provide, they won't provide answers, but they will provide comfort. You know what I'm saying? That song, just in this moment, I'm thinking of, because I'm thinking of, the version that I heard growing up was Doris Day. And, she's when she's just a little girl, asking mom what she would be. Will I be pretty? Will I be rich? Whatever will be, man. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I do know this. I do know that, like, if we stand together, you know what I'm saying, we can go far. We can go far. You know what I'm saying? And we can go and we can outlast whatever falls down, because we'll just be standing. That's it. Together.
Hell yeah. Avery Jacobs, Beast of No Nation.
What?
What's your other project called?
2-Bit Boys, baby.
Let's go.
And what are the shows you got coming up? List them out.
Tomorrow playing in Boulder, Roots Music Project, with Beast of No Nation. March 9th playing with 2-Bit Boys at Spangalang Brewery, Denver. 5 points.
Shout out to Spangalang Brewery.
Yeah, that's what you said. Super fun.
That's where he has his residency at.
Y'all go down and get some Ultraviolet down there too, man. That's my purple Kool-Aid seltzer.
Your purple Kool-Aid seltzer.
I got it down there. Ultraviolet's a drink, and it's real.
I didn't even know that.
Yes, dog.
Holy shit, like the song.
Yeah, just like the song.
There you go.
It looks just like the song.
It looks just like this song. And with that dollar, it is a wrap. Cheers.
Cheers.